All right, hey guys, Dr. Sean here. We're gonna do a mailbag this morning. This one's coming hot off the presses for me. It's saying, hey doc, what do you think about all these crazy food recalls? We've got a bunch of them in the last couple weeks, month or so. We've had several. We got a recent one this morning. Chipotle was talking about a food recall, looking at salmonella. We had Taco Bell and a salsa con queso that got recalled over botulism. We saw Pepperidge Farms Goldfish Crackers, Ritz Cracker Bits, salmonella. Kellogg's Honey Smacks. Say it ain't so, dig 'em. We can't have you going down. Salmonella. So what do we look at here? What's the deal here? Why are we having all the recalls? Why are they? The food chain is never perfect. And this is the one thing I think we forget along the way sometimes. We get this idea that, hey, we made crackers in a factory someplace and they got to be clean. They don't have to be clean. Read a book called Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. It talks about the meat packing industry at the turn of the last century. You'll never eat meat again. I mean, it's a scary thing. You're like, whoo, that's horrible. But you look at it and you think, gosh, we survived. We managed to get through, whether it's bacteria or molds or fungus or pollens. I mean, I live out in a small rural area. You look out my backyard, literally there's a cornfield. And I watch the mold grow on these plants and all the other things. And I think to myself, all right, they're going to pick it. They're going to dry it. They don't wash it for all intents and purposes, right? It's going to have that on there to some degree. Now, there's ways of getting it off and stuff, and they'll do that in processing. But it's there. It's part of the natural world. So we look at this and we think to ourselves, is this becoming more common? Is it more frequent? I think we're watching it more carefully than we ever used to. And we're seeing people who get sick. And what are you looking for? Fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea? Well, that's kind of the symptoms of a lot of stuff that bother the body. So when you look at food poisonings and things that you can do for it, and you look at the impact it has on our society, you're seeing that, gosh, guys, it's not that great. So here's what I would recommend to everybody. Try to stay as real as you can in your diet, right? More than anything, try to stay as real and as fresh as you can. At the same time, cook things that need to be cooked. Okay, that's the purpose of cooking. But understand when you cook your food, you tend to destroy the enzymes that are in it. That's what heating does, unfortunately. If you're microwaving things, if you're doing stuff of that nature, yes, you'll kill off bacteria and stuff, but you also kill off the things you need to get out of that food. So I'm a big fan of taking a digestive supplement, some type of an enzyme blend. Now, I like to tailor the enzyme. There are catch-alls. We use them in practice all the time. One of the ones we use here is called Digest. I use it all the time across the board for children and things of that nature. But I also like to know. So one of the things I like to do is I run an integrated urinalysis panel. This urine test lets me know, hey, what food group or groups are you struggling with? When you eat your fat, do you use it? When you eat your carbohydrates, is your body using it? Are you potentially feeding your gut, getting it weak, getting it in trouble, where it sets it up to be more inclined to get problems? Because what you'll see with most of the people that are having problems now, they're immune compromised, they're a little run down, they're fatigued, they're tired. I'm not saying it can't affect a healthy system. It could. But it tends to get the more weakened systems. All right, strengthen your system. This is the environment we live in. It's the world that we live in. Nothing's ever perfect, right? How would you ever know when you're popping open your bowl of Dig 'em Smacks in the morning as a little kid that, oh my gosh, this may be a big problem for me for the next several weeks, right? So focus on these things. Focus on what we see in our community, and just understand that when it comes to nutrition and it comes to health, do what you can to help yourself. Because when we rely on the others, we see all kinds of problems. I'm Dr. Sean, the Robin Hood Healthcare. Take care.